en español.
Good morning. Welcome to Chalice Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a community of diverse beliefs and experiences. We nurture a liberal religious spirit, and we are united by our desire to grow with love and in service. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your life's journey, you have come to a place where we truly welcome you. Whether this is your first time here, or you come once or twice a year, or you gather with us every Sunday, we are very glad you have found us. I'm David Peel, the worship associate today. Our service is led by our minister, Reverend Sharon Wylie. Our worship musician this morning is Mr. Tim McKnight. Our song leader is Sarah Shepard, and our sound and video engineer is Jake Diock. Our greeter this morning has been Susan Spoto. Welcome to our Sunday morning service. Welcome to those of you here in the chapel and to those of you watching live on Zoom. The theme of our service this morning is generosity and its role in healing in our world. For those of us here in the chapel, if you're sitting in a row that is not quite full, please consider moving towards the edge of the walls to make it easy for people who may arrive in the next few minutes. Also, as a reminder, please feel free to wear a mask or step outside as you may see fit. You'll be able to hear what's happening inside here while you're outside on the courtyard. We're always happy to welcome newcomers. If you are new, you can learn about our groups and activities through our weekly email and our monthly newsletter. Online guests, you will receive an invitation to join the list after the service. In-person guests, if you haven't already, please share your email with us as you leave. It's a good way to stay connected and find out what's happening here at Chalice. We have a lot of activities and things to offer. Now let's take a breath together. As we settle our souls into worship, we acknowledge Indigenous peoples with these words by Louis Erdrich, a Native American author of The Bingo Palace and a member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians of North Dakota. We do know that no one gets wise enough to really understand the heart of another, though it is the task of our life to try. Now we light our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. I'd like to invite Julian and Karen Swingle up to light our chalice this morning. The lighting of this candle is symbolic in many ways, but enveloping all of those meanings is that we made the genuine effort to gather together in person or across space to share the spirit that unites us. For some of us, being here is an effortless act. For others, it is a determined effort. Either way, it is an act of generosity, an intangible gift that binds our community together.
In a few minutes, we're going to be singing February's Hymn of the Month, There Is More Love Somewhere, which is a traditional African-American spiritual. This seemingly simple song actually contains quite a profound and complex message. The song acknowledges the reality of living in a world where there is not love, hope, peace, and justice for all people. At the same time, the song offers up the belief and hope that someday, somewhere, we may be able to find or create a world that does. One of the most iconic performances of this song took place in 1975 when Reverend Frederick Douglass Kirkpatrick, also known as Brother Kirk, performed the song on Sesame Street. Brother Kirk was a civil rights activist and folk singer who worked as a director in various human rights organizations. Brother Kirk had performed on Sesame Street multiple times, and in 1974 he recorded an album with Pete Seeger called Pete Seeger and Brother Kirk Visit Sesame Street, where he and Pete sang songs with Big Bird, Oscar, and the Sesame Street Kids. As you're about to see and hear for yourself, this performance beautifully expresses the complexity of the song's lyrics, evolving from a slow, plaintive song to a celebration of a world where all people can experience love, hope, and joy.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. More cooperation somewhere. More cooperation somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. More cooperation somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more truth somewhere. There is more truth somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more truth somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more somewhere. Cooperation somewhere. Cooperation somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. Cooperation somewhere. Gonna make more love somewhere. Gonna make more love right here. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. Gonna make more love right here. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere.
Sesame Street has been brought to you today by the letters W and X, and by the number 11. Sesame Street is a production of the Children's Television Workshop.
I love everybody.
Our call to worship. We move through the world too often guarded, defended, protective of ourselves because too often a stranger lashes out, or we witness something ugly, or there is trouble to be avoided. It is exhausting. We come here yearning for a different way of being together, curious, open, gentle, supportive. We gather together for worship with tender and hurting hearts. May our time together this morning, in person and online, at worship and at coffee hour, be an experience that tends to what is tired and hurting in us. May we be gentle with each other. May we be curious about each other. May we be open and supportive of each other. May it be so. Let us worship together.
The hymn of the month for February is There Is More Love Somewhere, hymn number 95 in the gray hymnal. We'll be singing it every week this month to get to know it and be more comfortable singing it. Please rise in body or spirit to sing together.
Our Sunday worship is the shared spiritual practice of our community, and we tend to the congregation during this time by sharing and honoring our joys and sorrows. We begin by marking a loss. Maureen Lighthall, one of our members, passed away last Sunday. In recognition of her physical death, we extinguish the flaming chalice that marks our gathering. We now light a candle of remembrance in recognition that our memories of and love for Maureen live on. Let us hold her in our hearts. Finally, we relight our flaming chalice in recognition that Maureen's many contributions to our community continue to strengthen our congregation for future generations. The light of our community shines ever on. In mystery we are born, in mystery we live, in mystery we die. Here in the chapel, you are welcome to write your joy or sorrow onto a candle card, which will be collected from you. Online, please write your joy or sorrow, including your name, into the chat box. These joys and sorrows will be spoken out loud, and then we'll remove this part of the service from the recording that goes onto our YouTube channel, so this sharing will not be publicly available online. So we have a few minutes of music so you can write down what you would like to share. If you would like to send me a confidential note about your joy or sorrow, or to make a prayer request, please email me. My email address will be on screen in a moment. So we'll share a final pillar candle for all the joys and sorrows in the room and in our community that may go unshared and unspoken this morning. These two are held in the love and support of our community. Now I'd like to invite the children and anyone else who would like to come up front for the story. Our story is called One Small Spark, a Tikkun Olam story. Tikkun Olam are Hebrew words that mean repair the world. The story is written by Ruth Spiro and illustrated by Victoria Tentler-Kryloff. Imagine the world you want to live in. If that's not the world you see, will you create it? When something is broken or someone needs help, you have a choice, an opportunity to repair the world. In a moment, you decide who you are and who you want to be. A spark that lights your heart becomes an idea and then action. Maybe you're small, but the problem feels big. It's okay to ask for help, because one person can't do everything, but everyone can do one thing, which may lead to another. Repairing the world takes understanding. It takes imagination. It takes practice. We're all on one team, each a string, like a rope made of strands holding hands. Woven, connected, stronger. Along the way, you'll discover that many things are perfect just as they are. You'll also discover that sometimes it's hard to know what to do. But even the tiniest spark will flicker and dance until it's impossible to ignore. Think of each act of kindness as a little gift given quietly. Not for a reward or even a thanks, because when life isn't fair and you have more than you need, you have the power to create balance, and balance feels better. You know, your action today changes everything tomorrow. And then the world will be different. Imagine everyone gathering sparks, opening their hearts, and repairing our world together. Tikkun Olam.
As the children leave for their classes, we join in singing.
Our reading comes from the American poet Marge Piercy, a poem called The Low Road. What can they do to you? Whatever they want. They can set you up, they can bust you, they can break your fingers, they can burn your brain with electricity, blur you with drugs till you can't walk, can't remember. They can take your child, wallop your lover. They can do anything you can't stop them from doing. How can you stop them? Alone, you can fight, you can refuse, you can take what revenge you can, but they roll over you. But two people fighting back to back can cut through a mob. Snake dancing file can break a cordon. An army can meet an army. Two people can keep each other sane, can give support, conviction, love, massage, hope, sex. Three people are a delegation, a committee, a wedge. With four, you can play bridge and start an organization. With six, you can rent a whole house, eat pie for dinner with no seconds, and hold a fundraising party. A dozen make a demonstration. 100 fill a hall. 1,000 have solidarity and your own newsletter. 10,000 power and your own paper. 100,000 your own media. 10 million your own country. It goes on one at a time. It starts when you care to act. It starts when you do it again and they said no. It starts when you say we and know who you mean. And each day you mean one more. We live in tumultuous times. The news brings us stories of violence, injustice, and division. Closer to home, we see loneliness, anxiety, and quiet struggles that rarely make headlines. It's easy in such a time to feel powerless. Our problems are so large, and we are so small. There is an ancient phrase in Jewish tradition, tikkun olam, which means repair the world. It begins with a simple but profound assumption: the world is not whole. Something in the fabric of human life is torn, and it is our shared responsibility as human beings to mend it. Over centuries, this idea has been understood in different ways. In classical rabbinic teachings, circa 200 CE, the Common Era, in those teachings, the phrase refers to public policy. These were practical legal measures designed to protect vulnerable people and promote fairness in society. In this early usage, the idea referred less to spirituality and more to maintaining a just and orderly community. Like such a law would be, there's no slavery. A second layer of meaning developed in the 16th century, particularly in the teachings of Isaac Luria, a rabbi and a mystic. In this tradition, creation is described as involving the shattering of vessels that contained divine light, leaving sparks of holiness trapped here in the material world. Human beings participate in repairing creation by performing religious acts that help restore or elevate these scattered sparks. In this mystical framework, tikkun olam is a cosmic process, repairing both the spiritual and moral brokenness of the world. We heard echoes of this teaching in our story this morning. Remember, it was called One Small Spark. And the illustrations in this story showed birds made of sparks of light flying where the work of healing the world happens. In modern usage, especially since the 1950s, tikkun olam has come to refer primarily to social action and ethical responsibility. Many Jews use the term to describe activities like charitable giving, acts of kindness, and work for social change. While contemporary activists may not emphasize the mystical background, the core idea remains that the world is in some way broken and that human beings bear responsibility for helping to fix it. But that raises the question of our times, right? How? How do we repair the world? Not in theory, but in actual practice. This is the question we're living with every day. How do we repair what is broken in our world? A medieval Jewish teacher, Maimonides, offered one answer when he described what he called the 8 degrees of giving. He observed that generosity is not all the same. It's not only a matter of how much we give, but how we give and what our giving makes possible. At the lowest level of his system, a person gives reluctantly or gives in a way that diminishes the one receiving. The material need may be met, but something of the human spirit is left untouched. At higher levels, the giver begins to act with more care and awareness, giving generously, giving without being asked, giving in ways that protect the dignity of the recipient. And at the highest level, Maimonides says, is helping someone become self-sufficient, helping them stand on their own feet so they are not only helped, but restored. This teaching suggests something important. Repairing the world is not only about solving problems, it's about restoring dignity, agency, and hope. It's about strengthening the threads that hold human lives together. How do we help someone become self-sufficient? Help them stand on their own 2 feet? We can answer this question by thinking of charities we support, ways we give money that helps support people. And we can also answer this question by thinking of ways that we're working for justice, trying to help people who have been unfairly targeted and impacted by actions of the presidential administration, as one example. Giving to charity and working for justice are, I would suggest, both acts of generosity. Because we are committing ourselves to making the world a better place, to repairing the world for all of us, not just ourselves. The description of our UU value of generosity includes the observation that generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. Acts of generosity acknowledge our interdependence. The giver cares about people who have less, people who are hungry, people who are homeless. The justice seeker cares about people who are treated unfairly, people who are being marginalized. The work of healing the world is not only the work of governments or movements or heroes, it is also the work of generosity. Every act that strengthens another life is a small repair in the fabric of the world. So there is another piece of this that I think we sometimes forget. Generosity does not only flow directly from one person to another, it also flows through communities like ours. When we give to sustain a congregation like this one, it may not always feel like we are repairing the world, and I don't think we think of church as a charity, though we are a nonprofit. It can seem ordinary, administrative, or inward-focused to make donations here. But in truth, what we are sustaining is something much larger than ourselves. A congregation is a place where people come in moments of grief, a place to come where they are not alone. It is a place where someone who feels lost can ask questions without fear. It's a place where children learn that they are valued, where friendships are formed, where people find the courage to live with greater compassion and integrity. And this is also a place that reaches outward, feeding the hungry, supporting shelter for the vulnerable, advocating for justice, offering presence where presence is needed most. None of that happens by accident. It happens because this community exists and because this community is sustained. In that sense, giving to the congregation is not separate from repairing the world. It is one way of making sure there is a well of care and love that does not run dry. It ensures that when someone is in need, there is a place ready to offer help. It ensures that when the world wounds someone, there is a community ready to help with the healing. Repair happens in individual acts of kindness, and it also happens in the creation of communities like ours, communities that make kindness possible again and again, day after day, year after year. There is a quiet truth here. Most of us will never repair the whole world. The world is too vast, our lives too brief, but each of us can repair a small part of it. Each of us can strengthen one thread in the great human tapestry. And when enough threads are strengthened, the fabric holds. So perhaps the question before us is not, how can I save the world? Because you can't. A better question might be, what is mine to repair? What act of generosity is within my reach? What person can I encourage or support? What community can I help sustain so that repair continues long after my own small act is done? The work of repairing the world is never finished, but it is always beginning again in every act of generosity, in every moment of care, in every community that chooses to keep its doors and its hearts open. And so we do what we can, we give what we can, we repair what we can. And that, piece by piece, is how the world is saved. Again, words from the poet. It goes on one at a time. It starts when you care to act. It starts when you do it again and they said no. It starts when you say we and know who you mean, and each day you mean one more. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
Please rise and body your spirit to sing hymn number 131 in the gray hymnal, Love Will Guide Us.
World
The Sunday offering is an expression of the generosity that makes our congregational life possible. The Buddha said that no true spiritual life is possible without a generous heart. Generosity allies itself with an inner feeling of abundance, the feeling that we have enough to share. We encourage you to text your donation to Chalice. If you haven't texted a donation before, once you text the amount, you'll get a reply with a link to enter your card information. If your Sunday donation is meant to be part of your pledge payment, please be sure and indicate pledge after the dollar amount. The phone number for the text donations will be on the screen in a moment. If you prefer to make an in-person donation of cash or check, there are envelopes by the donation box over there by the door, and you can leave those donations after the service. Please give generously. Please join in dedicating our offering with words of affirmation on screen here. At Chalice, you congregation, our mission is to inspire individual and communal spiritual growth.
chancel choir is about to sing a medley of two spirituals, Wade in the Water and Poor Wayfaring Stranger. Wade in the Water has many layers of meaning. It may be interpreted in the context of the biblical story of Jesus healing the man at the pool of Bethesda. But it was also a coded song used along the Underground Railroad to guide escaping enslaved people to safety by instructing them to walk in water, such as rivers or streams, to hide their scent from pursuing bloodhounds. In this medley, Wade in the Water is set to a driving rhythmic beat, creating a sense of urgent movement. In contrast, Poor Wayfaring Stranger turns inward. With its plaintive melody and reflective text, it tells of a solitary traveler pressing on through hardship, sustained by faith in a brighter home beyond. Where Wade in the Water encourages the listener to move, Wayfaring Stranger encourages the listener to endure. Later in the medley, we hear the two melodies juxtaposed, forming a tapestry of perseverance. As we sing these two timeless songs, we seek to honor the voices from which the songs arose, voices which continue to echo centuries later, offering hope to a broken world.
Where
The words of our prayer come from the Reverend Christopher Boos, inspired by St. Francis. Will you join me? Make us instruments of your peace. Where there is indifference, may we bring justice. Where there is selfishness, may we bring equity. Where there is stagnation, may we bring transformation. Where there is homogeneity, may we bring pluralism. Where there is isolation, may we bring interdependence. Where there is greed, may we bring generosity. And where there is hatred, may we bring love. Make us instruments of your peace, with love at the center of everything we do. Amen, and blessed be.
Please rise and body your spirit to sing our hymn from our virtual hymnal, Rooted in Fertile Grounds.
Our closing words this morning come from Dharma Wisdom by Philip Moffat. As a teenager living in the Appalachian Mountains, I worked as a bag boy at the supermarket. To my dismay, it was the working poor who were most likely to give tips. People who often seemed needier than me. I would either refuse the tip or sometimes slip the money back into one of the bags as I put them in the car. I felt quite proud about this until one cold, rainy Christmas Eve, when a man wearing worn-out clothes and driving a beat-up old car filled with many wide-eyed, unkempt children insisted on giving me a large tip. I was embarrassed at the idea of taking his money and flatly refused. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "This is something I can do for you. It is my Christmas." Suddenly, I got it. The tips weren't about me. They were about the giver, his values, and his life. I had believed that I had the right to decide the appropriateness of another person's generosity. Such arrogance. I accepted the man's money, deeply thanked him, and kept walking through the parking lot, pushing the empty shopping cart in the freezing air rather than returning to the warm store. My ears burned from shame, but my heart was warm, for a generous spirit had reached me. Love and blessings to each of you. You're invited to close our time together by singing The Well. After our closing hymn, please keep your seats for one announcement.
Good afternoon. Just a very brief announcement, quite in line with today's sermon. Next week at 12 noon, we'll have our next social justice meeting. So if you are interested in being one individual that joins many individuals to try to make the world a better place, please join us 12 noon in the Rainbow Room. Second quick point, there are some protest signs outside. You're free to take one, except the one that has Adrian's name on it, of course. But other than those, you're free to take them. Thanks.
Our social hour will begin in a few minutes, online at this same Zoom link and in person on the courtyard. Those of you here in person might want to take your refreshments into the green room and have a visit with our online congregants. Reverend Sharon and I look forward to greeting you at the chapel doors to hear how the service was meaningful to you. Go in peace.